Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman and these are the market positions for September the 20th, 2017. Now our first trade for tonight is going to be in the Forex market. We're looking at the Euro-US currency pair. Now what we can assess here is our key vantage point level comes in at 119.13. We can further assess the market has been bouncing off the vantage point 18-day predicted moving average for multiple days in a row, and we're starting to advance higher. Now we do have the FOMC tomorrow, which is going to be a very volatile trading session, but we also have a trend line that's coming in down around the 118.90 area, and it's more likely than not that the Federal Reserve is not going to be overly optimistic on the US economy or the US dollar in general, or again hiking interest rates. So it fundamentally and technicals are kind of lining up here, pointing us to go long up into this 121 area. So when we look at the additional indicators from VantagePoint, our neural index is higher, our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences, and our strength indicator are starting to move up. Our predicted MACD is firmly above the zero line, and our predicted RSI is at 59.1 at trend-ready levels. We can also further assess that we've had a failure at the 40 line on this corrective move, which then in turn formed a new trend line, which buyers are now firmly coming in off of. Now, as long as we hold above these areas and close above that 119.13 area tomorrow, we should be good to go for a move to the upside. Now, when we break down these crossovers, our short term is crossed over back to the upside, our medium term is flat, and our long term is still crossed to the upside with a lot of activity around this 119.35 area. So again, we have a very volatile day tomorrow. We're now going to go into that all-important daily report from VantagePoint to fine-tune our entry point. Now again, I can't stress enough that it is a wild card tomorrow. We're going to look for a pullback here, a very minor pullback actually. When we look at this, you can see we're closing 119.94. We're going to pull back to 119.48. We're then going to target 119.80, but ultimately I anticipate we can go much higher than 119.80. It's been very slow the last couple of days, but I anticipate a much bigger move after the Fed. So when it pulls back, we use that to buy, but I would be looking for a target tomorrow if we're correct and the Fed is somewhat dovish on the economy and the dollar. We should easily be able to move back up towards this 121 area or higher. All stops, in my respectful opinion, should be below 118 to give this trade a chance. We're going for a bigger move, and ultimately I do believe the euro will be moving higher towards the 125 area later this year. Now our second trade for tonight is going to be in the U.S. financial sector. We're looking at the Cree Research, now the CREE stock. Now what we can assess here with this particular stock is, again, we're looking at a stock that has been consolidating for a period of time, and we want to make sure that we understand, how this is moving. Now this is actually falls under the technology sector, just to be clear. Now, when we look at this, again, we can see that the market's been running right along this key vantage point 18-day predicted moving average, which is coming in currently at 24.31. We have our neural index is turned higher. The position of the predicted short, medium, and long-term differences, along with our strength indicator, are basically saying that a trending move is potentially coming. We're crossing the zero line on the predicted MACD, and we're firmly above the 60 level on the predicted RSI. So when we connect all of these things together, which is we've got our first step here where we're looking to make sure that we've got this triple EMA cross, we've had our retracement here, multiple retracements actually, and we're moving higher. So once again, we want to make sure that we're checking those individual crossovers. We can see our short term is good, medium term is excellent, and our long term is quite good. So everything here is lining up for a potential bigger move coming. So from here, the last thing we have to do is go into that daily report from VantagePoint to fine-tune our entry point. We can see with that close of 24.97, we're looking for a minor pullback to 24.69. We're then targeting 25.28. But if we can get moving on this particular stock, we have the potential to move significantly higher. Now, we can see we've had a low point here down around $21 per share. We shouldn't go quite that low with our stocks. You longer term traders can, but I would be more inclined to having my stops down around the $23 per share mark, or just under $23 per share, because ultimately I think we can move considerably higher. If we look at this stock, it's been up over $30 per share in the last 9 months, and it looks like we have a good shot of at least moving back up into this resistance, heavy resistance zone, up around $27 per share. So if we can pick up $2 or $3 per share on a $24 stock, that's a very good potential move here.